So I went to the theater and saw Black Adam, and this is sort of my review. I have a problem with how some people are like critiquing this movie, and I'll get in that in a second. It's a little confusing, but here's the review part of it. Later will come that, and I'll have some more reviews of the movie during that part, but this is the main review part. Black Adam overall is a good movie. Not a great movie, a good movie. Not an okay movie, but a good movie. Does it have bad parts in it? Yes, let me get those out of the way. The story is pretty bland and normal, and you probably could have guessed it from a mile away. The dialogue in the movie could have been better, but it's good enough for the movie, but again, it could have been better. And then the only other real critique I got, it's a little jarring sometimes seeing like the scene cut away from like action and then a flashback and then this and then that. It's a little jarring sometimes. And I probably would have rearranged a few of those scenes and revealed some stuff earlier instead of later. And I think that would have made the movie pace and like flow better. And then the only other thing I really have that's like not really a spoiler to talk about is that Black Adam himself, and this isn't a spoiler at all. You could have guessed it from the trailers, you could have guessed it from the movie itself, from the announcement of the movie. Dwayne Johnson is playing a character, Black Adam. And by the end of the movie, yes, he kind of remains this badass anti-hero villain persona or whatever, but he feels more like a hero than anything else. And I think a couple of changes to the script would have made Black Adam feel more like a villain at the end of the movie, but a villain that we can side with. I think Joker does a really good job of this. Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker. I think he does a really good job at, the entire movie does a really good job of this concept that a villain, somebody that is the antagonist of everybody else in the film, and obviously is the villain of the film, is someone we can still, kind of feel for in a sense, or somebody that at least we could watch and still be entertained and not just hate everything we're seeing on the screen. And I think Black Adam took a bit of a safe approach to this and kind of made him hero-like by the end of the film instead of committing to him just being a villain. But it has some stuff in the future it can go towards where Black Adam can easily be a villain again. Overall, though, that is my review of the movie. The one small part I want to add here at the end before the video's over is that I see people critiquing this movie and saying that this is a bad movie with fun parts in it. A bad movie with some good things to it. A bad movie, but the action is great and it will leave you in your seat till the end of the movie. And I disagree with this. I think that there's a lot of good things with the movies, and I see critics doing this all the time where they'll name off like 20 different things that are good with the movie, but then they'll only go name 2 things that are bad with the movie and say, oh, well, the movie's overall bad because of that. And I guess movies are subjective, it's down to opinion, I understand that, but if majority of the movie is good and most of the movie is entertaining and fun, and there's only a couple parts that are bad, then why overall is it a bad movie? I feel like this might scare certain people away, especially with movie reviewers and critics that have a higher following and everything like that, and a lot more people take their opinions a lot closer to themselves and kind of affect their choices on seeing the movie or not. Most critics and film reviewers that I see like on YouTube and all that other stuff are still saying to go watch the movie, which I applaud that. But besides, like, for example, the story and the dialogue and maybe certain choices in the movie or whatever, besides those being the bad parts of the film, why overall does that cloud that the entire movie is bad? I get it, the story and the dialogue need to be good in order to have a great film, but overall, this movie is not implemented in like big dialogue scenes. It's not heavily relying on that. It's relying on the action, and the action has been described as great and amazing action. The visual effects, which this is a heavy visual effects movie, is great. Any scene with Dwayne Johnson and his interactions and some of the quips and the funny parts of the movie, they all land pretty well, and that's what most reviewers are saying. But there's just a couple parts here and there that aren't good, and the story's bland. Well, most Marvel movies have a pretty bland story, but that doesn't make them a bad movie with fun parts in it. And again, this could just be me nitpicking or whatever, but I don't know. I'm not trying to argue that my opinion on the movie is the correct opinion on it. I just kind of have a problem if the movie's supposed to be bad overall. There should be more points to point out that are bad about the movie than good. again, I think most of this movie is good. I agree with the reviewers online that when they say the story and the dialogue and certain choices in the film or choices to make the film a certain way, I agree with them that those parts are a flaw in the movie and don't really hold itself up there. But I also agree with most reviewers that majority of this movie is good, therefore it should be a good movie, but most reviewers are out there saying, no, it's a bad movie with just good and fun parts in it. Don't let this overall scare you away from Black Adam. Black Adam is a good movie. It is a good movie. And you won't regret going to go see it. But overall, this movie is a good movie. You'll be able to follow along. Yes, the story's bland. Yes, the dialogue is somebody said the word cringy. Sometimes the dialogue's cringy or whatever. But majority of this movie you will enjoy. You will laugh. You'll have a fun time. You'll enjoy all the visual effects and all the hard work that's put into this movie. You'll enjoy the action, and you'll enjoy Dwayne Johnson and the JSA in the movie. It's pretty good. Also, somebody said the villain was pretty bad. What do you expect? It's a superhero movie. You know, I think we're like 30-4 for bad villains versus good villains. We don't have a good ratio of good villains in the movie. I wasn't expecting there to be a big bad villain that was going to change all of our perspective. Was never really going to happen. But I think this movie sets up an opportunity to avoid that problem in a sequel if they want. And yes, the end credit scene is absolutely amazing, and you will scream if you're as big of a fan as I am, because that's the first thing I did with my younger brother to my left and my girlfriend to my right. I held on to him, and I screamed real quick, and it was an amazing end credit scene. Overall, though, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Be wary of spoilers if anybody's going to spoil the movie down there, but just give me your quick thoughts on what you guys thought of the movie, and let me know, do you agree with how everyone else is reviewing the movie? Is it a bad movie with fun parts, or is it a good movie with bad parts in it? Does it even really matter? Am I just nitpicking? I probably am. Alright, thank you guys for watching the movie, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.